Right, hello, welcome back to Venture 82, day 3 of these daily videos. Being out here, well, I have to walk backwards so you can see me, that's insane. Right, so being out here, I'm obviously now I've moved out to the little village of West Whitton. What I thought we'd do is I'll give you a little bit of a tour of West Whitton, the little village that I'm living in, for today's video. So I'll go up, well, I'm going just about to go walk up one end and we'll walk all the way down because it's one straight road. But we'll go up the other way and then I'll be walking this way, which means the sun won't be blocking me like it was when I first turned this on. Yeah, and we'll have a look around this little village of West Whitton. So welcome to the West Whitton tour. Right, so I'm currently making my way to the other end of the village. It's a little footpath about, I suppose, 3/4 of the way through the village from where I am, which is what I'm walking down now. As you've just seen, I came through a little kind of stone stiles kind of thing there. But out here there's nothing, there's no cars. The main village of West Whitton is on a main road. Dates back to the 1700s, the village itself. Has pagan origins, so it's been there a long time. You can see this is the lesser travelled path by the length of the grass. But right, so we're going to address a few questions here that were asked of me maybe 3-4 months ago when I first said about where I'm going to, why we decided to move to North Yorkshire, and also going to address the questions as to some other questions which I'm sure in some people's heads as to why the daily videos, because I did explain in the first one. But we'll see, because this isn't all completely set in stone yet. But let's get out the sun first. Right, so main question everybody asks me is, why North Yorkshire? Why move from Jersey? Now, I mentioned before in quite a few videos, Jersey is not the place it was when I grew up. You know, and aside from, well, the greenery, look, that's why I'm here, essentially. But as I say, Jersey's not what it was. I'm not the same person I was before everything kicked off in October. I'm having awful issues with the sun. There we go, you can see me slightly better now. So yeah, I'm not the same person either. So on the back of everything that went wrong for me with my mental health in October, Yorkshire was already on the cards, but it was very much became a case of North Yorkshire after that, because Yorkshire is, well, North Yorkshire is quiet. You get peace, you get time. It's been stressy at times sorting out bits and pieces, it still is, but that's better. So the daily videos is because I'll do a separate video maybe at some point on my mental health if people are interested, but I don't want to bore people with my stuff. So the other thing about North Yorkshire is it's just very, it's quiet, it's peaceful. So what was I doing? Yeah, see, I lose my train of thought. So going back to the other questions of what are the daily videos. So the daily videos is simple, really. on the back of the fact that I'm not really able to do, well, I'm just not able to do a normal standard 9-to-5 job. That's not something I'm capable of anymore. And on the basis that I'm not comfortable with living off of universal credit for the rest of my life, I want to try and do something, and the only thing I seem to be good at these days is YouTube. So so this daily videos thing we're doing now, which is what, this is day 3, isn't it? Is it's a trial thing. I'm going to try it for a few weeks, see how it works, see if I can keep up with the schedule of it, see whether it works for you guys, because ultimately what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build up the subscriber base of the channel, so that the channel at least pays for the things that I would like to do in it. Right, we're going to go through a gate, well, over a stiles in a minute, look. So let's get over that and then I'll continue. Right, so like I say, going back to the YouTube thing, the reason for the daily videos is to give you guys more content, because I've been neglecting you somewhat recently, and because, well, I'm trying to grow the channel essentially. I have 458 last time I looked, which was earlier on this morning, subscribers thereabouts. I'm trying to grow the channel first to 1,000. That would be the first benchmark, and then from there on keep growing it so the channel looks after itself. If it starts getting to a point where it actually makes an income, brilliant, but if not, I just want to make the channel valuable to people, because the more people that watch it, the more worthwhile it is, aside from the personal reasons of it helps me on mental health, not financially. Right, hang on, we've got a gate to shut. So yeah, that's why the daily videos, I mean, first few haven't done brilliantly. Like I said, I've got 440 odd subscribers, and most of them haven't watched these. Not having much luck with the sun today, am I? Gotten out of the sun, you still can't see me. Oh, there we go, we'll do that then. There we go. So yeah, so I don't know how well the daily videos are going to work out. I don't even know if they are going to work out, to be honest. So we'll have to see, I suppose. There's no real way of knowing, but we'll see. Right, we're coming up to the beginning of West Whitton, so we'll get to there and then we'll do the West Whitton tour. Right, so we've made it to the beginning of West Whitton. Sign could do with a bit of a trim though, but we've made it to the beginning at least. And also, probably for the first time in this video, you can see me clearly. So yeah, I'm not going to touch on the why Jersey to Yorkshire thing anymore, because we've covered it so many times now. I'm not doing it anymore, but it's just for, still get questions about it. So right, so if I turn this camera around now, you'll be able to see West Whitton. Hopefully nobody minds me showing their house. It's not like I'm going to be filming their houses specifically, so it should be okay. We're by a main road, which means I'm not sure how well the sound's going to go. And it's an interesting mix, because there's old and there's new. So this end where I am, a lot of it, as you can see, has been rebuilt It's all brand new, or reasonably new, compared to the other buildings that are here. So West Whitton, like I say, it has its beginnings in the early, I think 1700s. I know my house dates back to the 1700s, so the village was definitely there before then. Thank you, Arctic Lorry. So, right, sorry about that. There was an ambulance and a massive lorry. So we should start again. This is the beginning area of West Whitton, like I was saying. So this bit, a lot of it has been rebuilt. This end. So you've got a massive pothole. I almost broke my neck. You've got all these new houses here. They're brand new. They're, well, reasonably brand new. Look very modern compared to the other ones. But down here, not this one, the next one along, because they're like the new kind of modern housing estates. Have split these up into different courts and have given them different names. So the one just further down here is called School Close, I think it's called. School Close, School Court, one of the two. And it dates back to when there used to be the original schoolhouse there. So that's quite cool. There's also got one of the original Leyburn markers still in place. If you look. There you go. So that's an original marker telling you 4 miles to Leyburn, which is in this direction. 13 miles to Hawes, which is up that way. The only thing about West Whitton is that because it's all on one main road, essentially. There we go, sorry, I didn't adjust the camera properly. Because it's all on one main road, basically, it's quite difficult to film the GoPro at the moment, because obviously not having a media mod means that you can't edit the video or catch the sound properly. Yeah, see, old school close. So that building there at the back, that used to be the old school. Now children who live in West Whitton go to school, well, their most closest catchment area school would be Leyburn Primary School, which is in Leyburn. So that's where they'd go, and then the local secondary school is Wensleydale Secondary School, which is pretty good for the area. It's quite small. It's got its own SEN area too, which is really good. A lot of schools don't. They have to have help from what the UK call the SEN hub. But you're getting into the original part now. So if I turn the camera around now, you'll see you're getting very much now the old school farmhouses. But as you'll also see, the traffic doesn't let up. So yeah, it's very quaint up this end. Right, so as we go down this bridge into the main, what would have been the original main part of the village, you come across one of 2 pubs that are in the village. This one's called the Wensleydale Heifer. So you can see there, that's, oh, this is interesting. I'm not my best at Roman numerals. So X, what's that, 10, V is 5, and then the I's are 1, isn't it? So that's 10, 5, 2, would that be 1502 then maybe? Right, like I said, I'm not good with my Roman numerals, but if that says 1502, that's, yeah, that backs up round about when the village was founded, around the 16, 1700 mark, so I wasn't 100% certain. There's obviously West Whitton. This is the interesting thing about doing a video on West Whitton. I wanted to do one since we got here. there's not an awful lot on West Whitton, or at least not that I can find. So it's quite awkward. Anyway, whilst we're here, the pub itself, which is the interesting bit, is sat right on the edge of a river. Now that's not really flowing much at the moment. And you can ignore the grey plastic pipe here. That's just overflow from the drain in the road. But I'd imagine in full flow, that's quite a thing. You can see the hole here where the water would flow underneath, literally underneath the pub. So that's where that comes from. And then on the other side, it's where the river starts. You've actually got the River Yorkshire up there somewhere, and it comes underneath this house here, underneath the bridge, and comes out here. I'm going to assume that probably this bridge probably even predates, to be honest, the front garden there of that house. So this is the heifer, like I say, the Wednesdale heifer. I've not been in there yet myself, but I've been told it's a very good place to eat, but from what I understand, it's one of those, I don't know, that Royal Princess Anne dying there in 2019. Right, I wonder if that is because, as I was about to tell you, it's a Michelin star restaurant. It's got a car park down there. See, that's the car park. Yeah, I wonder if that's interesting. Cool, that's pretty cool though, that she's come to a little village like this to dine, Princess Anne. I'd imagine you don't get that very often. I can't imagine royalty come out to somewhere like this very often at all, but then I might be wrong. So as you go past all these houses, you can see now the age of the village is starting to show. So you've got what would have been, I'm guessing, back in the day. Right, so you've got what would have been back in the day, I'm guessing, an old farmhouse. We'll get to this white building in a moment. But then you see you've got on this side, with the rolling hills in the background, some much newer houses. So, but then you can see here, the wall is much older than the house. So I'm wondering if that was one grand hall at some point, because it says Garth or Hall Garth there. And then at somewhere along the line, the original house has been knocked down and been built into two modern houses. I'm guessing that's what's happened. So we'll see. Right, now for the white building. Right, so you've got a normal house there. Here, this is the little village corner shop. Now, this is all been sold. That and the house here on this side, they're all one thing. They've just been sold. You can see, which amused me no end, it's got Arkwright's written above the front door, which is quite cool. The lady who owns that at the moment is actually currently moving to Whitby, and will actually it'll be taken over by somebody else soon. So the shop at the moment hasn't got much in it, but that's soon to be restocked. So with that in mind, I mean, mentioning to you earlier on that you can tell I'm doing this on my own, can't you, because I'm not as good with the camera as I am when Eric is around. Yeah, as I mentioned to you earlier, the history of West Whitton is set in, a lot of it's set in pagan times. So with that in mind, you'd imagine there'd be a reasonably old church. And for the fact of the matter is that there indeed is an old church. It's called St. Bartholomew's. And it's also reportedly linked to a quite an old tradition within West Whitton, specifically just West Whitton. And what we'll do is we'll go now and have a look at Bartholomew's Church, and I will explain more about this tradition. Right, so here we are, St Bartholomew's Church, as you've probably just seen from the clip before. Now, St Bartholomew's Church has a link to something traditional. Oh! That's the bells just at the top there. Whilst we're here. Right, so if you counted those bell rings, you know what time it is as I'm filming in the morning. Right, you can see the gargoyle up there whilst we're looking at the tower. You can see it's quite Gothic. Again, showing the history and the origin of the village. Right, so as I was going to tell you before the bell rung, made me jump out my skin, is that St Bartholomew's is one of the suspected reasons for the tradition in West Witton of burning Bartle, which I will cover separately. It happens on the 27th of August this year. It's on a specific day, not a specific date, when they hold the West Witton feast, which we'll also cover nearer the time. But burning Bartle is essentially a tradition whereby a group of a few hundred people from around the village march down the main street. The road's actually closed for this about 9 o'clock at night. They march down the road with, for anybody else who's not witnessed it, something similar to a Guy Fawkes, a made up effigy, if you like, of what's supposed to be Bartle. They march through the town, they stop at various houses on the way, and then at the end Bartle gets set on fire. There's various theories as to the origin of burning Bartle, which we'll cover in the burning Bartle video I'm going to do at the end of the month for you. But yeah, this also has links to that, because there's various stories about how it was, and one of them is to do with, it might have something to do with this, because Bartholomew, Bart's short for Bartholomew, so, but it is an astounding thing. That said, this church isn't used that regularly anymore. I mean, the most recent gravestone I can find amongst here is from, I think, the 1700s was the most recent one. And if you come here, you can go inside. But you can also see here, they do still do stuff at St Bartholomew. You see St Bartholomew's West Witton. But they don't do it all the time. They take turns. They share between St Andrew's Church in Ayersgarth, St Oswald's in Castle Bolton, and Mary's in Redmere, which we'll be visiting at some point. Not the church, Redmere. St Margaret's, no mum not you, in Preston under Scar, Holy Trinity in Wednesday, St Bartholomew's here, and Thornton Rust Mission Room. I'm not sure where that one is, but that's how that works. So they share the services between them. None of them is in regular use, so they use them maybe once, twice a year. I don't know if the church is open at the moment. If it is, I'll show you the insides. Let's have a look. I'm assuming they don't mind. Ooh, it's going dark. I've actually not been in here before, so this is all new to me as well. Well, this is fascinating. Right, okay, so you've got the old school christening bath there. That's not something you see too often in these days. How old and vintage is that radiator? That's cool. You can see stonework in here is magnificent, as is the woodwork. The building, or the way this is being built, is very similar to the way that the house I live in is being built, so I wonder if they're around about the same time. We've got a little flag there, look, for West Witton. We've got a model there actually of the church, that's quite cool. Look at that. Someone's actually put a lot of time and effort into that, what's it say? This model of St Bartholomew's Church was made by Mrs. Vera Brown whilst attending pottery classes at Wensleydale School. Vera was a long-standing member of the congregation. She loved the church and the village. Vera passed away on the 14th of October 2016, aged 93. Well, Vera was a very talented lady then to have made that at school. Wow. So, you've got the old school cushion seat too as well to kneel on. Everything about this is so, I don't know what's the word I need is, for a lack of a better phrase, old school. They've got like the knitted cushions on the pews and stuff. These days they just give you the plain wooden pews normally. It's really quite a lovely thing. You've got a standard piano there. I'm not going to go any further than this because I don't think I'm allowed. And you've got your altar here. You've got another one there. So you can stand up there as well. I think that's when you do Bible readings, isn't it? And sermons. It's been a while since I've been to church. And that is when you're doing weddings and things, I believe. I may well be wrong. I know that's for the choir. I don't know what they use the back for. I think the back bit section there is where they'll put a coffin for a funeral. You can still have funerals here, but there are some special requests. And you can see here, I don't have a hymn book, but obviously the last hymns they were sung here were 102, 645, 289 and 240. But some of these flags, the old school flags and everything, lighting and everything about it, even down to, look at that, the detail in the wall. I mean, yeah, there's more elaborate ones, but this has so much character. They managed to put so much character into things, and then of course things got far more elaborate once you went into the Victorian era. But for a church that's as old as this is, I have to have a look outside actually. Normally with these churches they give you like a date. It's stunning. Would love to know how long that radiator's been there, because that definitely wouldn't have been the original feature. And as you can tell, because the massive black pipe goes down here and actually along the edge of the pews and disappears underneath. And also because if you look, they're kind of mounted into the back of the pews in the middle. So I wonder where they're coming from. Oh, there, look, see, because the pipe must go under there, do a U-turn, it comes back down here, through there, up there, and into the wall. But that's pretty awesome. Right, we'll go back outside. You don't need to be going to the black again. Right, so we're back out of Bartholomew's, St Bartholomew's now, which was down that way. We're near where my house is. But we have first the second pub within the village. So that's called the Fox and Hounds. Now, it wasn't until recently, because it's got new owners, it wasn't until recently doing like a bed and breakfast kind of thing, but it's not at the moment. I don't know if the new owners are going to do that or not. No one does at the moment. They haven't had it long apparently. So that's the second pub, and then then you've got a lot of farmhouses around here, so you can tell that where the village's heritage lies. So we turn this around. Right, so what's down there? Look at that, that's quite cool. I don't know what these are though. A few of the houses around this way, not just here but a few places have got these. What are these? If anyone can tell me, can you let me know? So yeah, this is all very much as it would have been hundreds of years ago now down this end. You can see it's all very, very old style farmhouse. I'm sure some of these, like this one clearly has had some alterations done to it. but some of them I'm sure are older than they look. I mean, like that one there, it's got quite an old wall, that big tall farmhouse there. But the building itself looks more modern, so I don't know whether at some point that building's been redone. But yeah. Oh, we've got another big lorry coming. Right, so I say ooh, lorry coming, and it decides to be a tractor. So this is what I mean. See, look, this is a perfect example. Look, see, because you've got old school walls, they've been there for some time, and then you see you've got a brand new building because the original one's been demolished. I don't know what the original one looked like. I'm pretty sure if I post this video on Wednesday day or past and present, or on Labour and Residents, somebody will know. But yeah, not sure what that used to be, but you can see all these other ones are much the same, even down to these really cool doors. It's really quite for lack of a turn of phrase, it's very Emmerdale. But see these ones here, these are your very early style kind of buildings. See the way they've got, wait a minute, the way they've got the big massive support stones above the windows and the doors. That was the old school way of making sure it was supported, and that's how a lot of them are down this direction now. You've got the bed and breakfast here, which looks really quite nice, called the Old Vicarage. What's that dated? 1870. So that's been there a while. So if you want to stay in West Whitton, that's how you get here, and you've got all that to roam. Now, as I said, West Whitton's a quiet, tiny little village outside Leyburn, so there's not an awful lot to it. But you don't move to West Whitton just for West Whitton, you move to West Whitton for where it is. You're living in the North Yorkshire Dales National Park, so that's what you want. You've got old school farmhouses again everywhere. They've actually even got a playing area here for the kids, which I'll show you briefly in a minute. But all in all, this is probably one, because we've been to a few and they're all very pretty, but this is one of the most picturesque little villages in North Yorkshire that I've seen so far anyway, and I feel very privileged to be here when you can see that every day. So yeah, that's as you walk down here to the last part of the village. I'm going to show you through the very end. This would be technically the beginning because we're walking towards Leyburn at the moment. Yeah, the daily video is very much a trial thing. I'm going to assess them in about 2 weeks, see how the workload works out, whether you guys are interested in it, because it means I'm going to end up making videos about my own interests, personal interests, things like the shopping like we did yesterday, which was terrifying. I hate big shops. I was a lot less anxious with that video yesterday because I was filming for you guys than I would have been on my own. Sorry, when I would have been normally. And obviously because Erica was there, that makes a massive difference. Erica's the reason I go in those shops in the first place, otherwise I just wouldn't. So yeah, we'll see how they go. If they don't work out, we'll go back, we'll take a step backwards. I don't want to go completely backwards, so if the weekly videos thing doesn't work in over the next course of, I don't know, next 2 weeks to a month, I suppose, what we'll do, we'll reassess, and I might go to doing like a Wednesday video and then a Sunday video, so I still have the time to do the big ones, because I can't keep up with doing those each week. The travel time over here is much greater than the travel time in Jersey, as I'm sure you can appreciate. So yeah, I just can't kind of keep to that schedule anymore. Right, so if we go up here, this is where the playing area is. Right, so you come up here and this is where the kids have to play in the village. So there's a little car park if you want to come up with your car, but most people will walk up. You've got a little like trim char thing there at the back, balance beams and stuff. You've got goals. You've got an actual proper playing area, which the kids were on the other day, they really like. There's actually a little picnic table there as well, just behind the red tree. And this building here is for West Whitton residents to hire out. I think you can hire it out if you don't live in West Whitton as well. To have like parties and things that, and you get to use the grass and things as well at the same time, which is quite cool. And you can see what he's just done, because they're just doing the grass trimming over there. He's trimmed away the grass here because you've got a little section there where you can go up and over the wall, because there's a walk up that way. And again, these are the back hills. So my geography isn't brilliant yet, but West Whitton was guarded by Midlam Castle, which is over in that direction, I believe. There's a few villages that Midlam Castle looked over from a distance, and yeah, this was one of them. But you can see, in a world where it's very easy to end up in a place that surrounds you with concrete, this is not that. So that's the West Whitton tour. I do hope these daily videos aren't boring you, because I really can't tell, because it's not getting the viewer amounts for me to be able to tell. I mean, like yesterday's only got, I think, about like 16, so I'm keeping a close eye on it, seeing how it works out. If you do watch these, do like, share and subscribe. Do be aware that the daily ones will vary in editing quality, because some of them are done on the GoPro, like this one's been done today. Some of them are done on my phone, and when I do them on my phone, I can't add the end screen on because the phone won't do it. It overheats very quickly. My phone wasn't meant for video editing. I might have to get a different one. I can't add, well, I just can't edit it the same. So if you ever get any videos that don't have any music in them, don't have an end screen on them, you know I've made it on my phone. Like yesterday's is a prime example of that. So, and even if I put the footage from my phone onto the editing software, something about the format the phone records in, that stops the editing software from being able to put the end screen on properly. So I do try and refrain from editing my phone, but I'm just making you guys aware. So from me, I'll see you tomorrow in another video. I have no idea what I'm doing in any of these daily videos. I'm having to try and figure them out as I get up in the morning. And yeah, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.